All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're on again to the Kendy and Raybo podcast. Welcome along. We got a big show ready to go.
The sun is shining. Here we go. I think that went well. Welcome to the Kendy and Raybo podcast, episode 41, recorded in Kendy's box room. Class.
That is what you call production value.
Oh, I tell you.
Unreal, isn't it?
Marvellous what you can do these days.
We're now doing live intros, Ray. That roadcaster, man, changed our lives.
It did, in fairness.
You know, so welcome along, lads. As Ray said in the intro, episode 41, we're back in business.
On a Monday again.
And the weather is unbelievable outside the window.
So unbelievable that we have been forced to resort to, what would you call that pint bottle of Bulmers? It's not a pint bottle. It's a...
No, I don't know what it is. Is it a litre, is it?
It's a litre bottle of Bulmers.
We have a litre of Bulmers here, which is a pint each almost.
Yep.
We got the ice and we got the pint glasses. And we're going back to our roots, Ray. Bulmers.
It is true, actually. That's where we started.
Oh, you're always starting the Bulmers, yeah?
Yeah, drinking behind the church. Up across Malina. Manuel, the Spanish student, getting his cans out of Mahon's bar.
Oh, it's beautiful sound.
How are you, Kendy?
That's bad. Yourself, Ray?
Good now.
You had a good weekend, did you?
Yes, I did. What is it about, if you have a bunch of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll say a group.
A small grouping of people.
Small grouping of people. Yeah. 10 to 15 people.
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's called a stalwart. A stalwart of people.
If you had a stalwart, for the purposes of this podcast, we'll call it a stalwart. Right.
I don't even know if that's a word. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, but it's not. It's not what you think it is. Anyway, a stalwart of people, right? As Kendy would say. If you have 10 to 15 people in a pub, and you walk in and you see 10 to 15 people, they're all friends.
Yeah.
Right? Some of them are family. Yeah. There's a bunch of them. They're having a good time. What are your first impressions of those people? You're glad to see them first, I suppose. Because you playing in a band, it's nice to see a crowd in the place. Like.
It depends.
Now, if I tell you that lovely bunch of, we'll say women, really great looking women.
I'm with you. Okay.
If I was to turn around then and say, that's a bunch of hens.
Oh.
Exactly. Immediately your impression of that group of people changes.
Yeah, I've had some experiences.
Or equally, if it's a bunch of lads having the crack, that's a bunch of stags.
Yeah, no, it changes my perception altogether. It lets people think that they run that town that they're in. It turns out that there's 20 of us in this town tonight, and the town is ours. We get to do... see that pub over there, Ray?
Yeah.
We're all going to go in there.
Yeah.
That's our pub then, we go in there. You know there's a band playing in there?
Yeah.
That they're playing for us.
Right.
It's our band.
I just find it interesting. It's how you change, how your whole perception of a group of people changes as soon as you mention their hens.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
terrifying. Because I had the pleasure of doing a gig on Saturday. This is Monday, by the way. The Monday, the bank holiday weekend. Jesus has risen.
Fair play to him.
He got up out of it.
I'll tell you what, no. Jesse was looking bad there for a while, man. Well, I saw him Good Friday. Oh.
Shook.
Oh, he was fair shook, man. He was screwed.
Yeah. And... Oh, that has to come out. That has to come out. No.
Saw him, man. He was absolutely nailed. Honest to God.
Oh, no. You're making it worse.
But I tell you, man, he came out of it now.
He did.
Because he was gone shook looking.
He gets up for a few hours every day. So anyway, there was a gig on Saturday. It was Old Hannah's album launch in Anderson's Bar and Grill Tremendous Event Centre.
Oh yeah, in the Tremendous Events Centre.
In the Tremendous Event Centre. But anyway, above in Anderson's anyway, they were doing their show. But there was a big bunch of hens in before the gig, right? Eating in the room. And Jesus, the two don't mix. The bunch of hens, the good music, it don't mix.
No.
It's fine if it's hot fuss, you know.
Have you got grease?
What?
Have you any grease or ABBA? No.
Do you know any wagon wheel?
Sorry, it's Maureen. Maureen, her name is. The hen's name is Maureen. Say Maureen. And do you know what happens then when you say fair play to Maureen? She's enjoying her hen down below.
She didn't hear it. She's in the toilet.
Hen number 2 then comes over and says, guys, it's Maureen's hen. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's Sylvia up telling us, lovey. Which one are you? I'm Margaret. Okay. It's every week. I deal with this every week.
Poor old Hannah, though, they knew. The lads at Old Hannah, they knew not to go on while the hens were in the room. And this is what got me to thinking about how our perception of a group of people changes.
I think it's not our perception of a group of people. I think it's the mentality of a group of people based on what night out they're going for.
Interesting. You might find as well my voice is a little bit hoarse.
As is Kendy's.
Yeah. Long weekend.
Yeah, but what's wrong with you though? You don't sound like you're hoarse.
I feel like I'm hoarse.
Do you want me to call an ambulance? Listen, I have a number here. What is it again? Let me check. Wine 11. Call Wine 11, man.
Wine 11.
Yeah. Shut up about it. Come here. That gets me to the housekeeping, Ray.
Go for it.
The amount of people that are coming up to me and saying, "When's the podcast back out again? When are you back on?"
I noticed that as well.
We're back on.
Yeah.
And I can only come to one conclusion as to why they're saying that. Because they're not subscribing on the Oaks. Wherever you listen to it, if you're on Spotify or on Stitcher or on Apple,
Spotify.
whatever you are, but here, man. Let me tell you, no, here, man, no.
Here, man,
hey,
Spotify.
Hey, do you see you? That's a big Sligo one. Do you see you, hey?
Go on.
Unless you're subscribing, you're not going to see when it's back up. So hit the wee notification thing on your YouTubes or whatever it is, and it'll tell you when the episodes are back out. Because there's loads of people don't know it's back out, and they're giving out to me.
I know.
And I'm saying we have an episode out.
But it's fine. It's a nice surprise when they do find it.
Well, it is. But come here, that reminds me, I'm going to get my shout-outs done early.
Jesus.
Because the exact people that said when's it back out again are getting shout-outs. Michelle Padden walked up to me last night in Ballina.
Oh, what'd you say?
She said, where's the podcast? I said, "'Tis out, Michelle. Jesus, 'tis out."
It's great having your homework done when you get, accosted like that in the bar.
Yeah, well, it was good to have something to come back rather with. Shaggy Rooney and Richie Lynn have been listening back on old ones.
Back in the old history.
They listen to the Christmas episode again.
Oh, that's nice.
So they love us. Susie Ryan said she does listen to it on her walks.
On our walks.
I don't know if Amanda does either. She didn't say that.
Do they walk together?
Wait a second. Amanda, why aren't you listening to it, you old bitch? I just realised I was talking to both of them.
And one of them was very quiet about the whole thing.
Yeah, Susan said, I listen to it when I'm walking.
Yeah.
And Amanda said, that was it.
But should be Amanda now would be a lady of few words at the best of times. Do you know? Fairness. And when she does talk, then it's worth it.
Maybe she does or not. Look, all I'm saying is
Subscribe.
You subscribe to us.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you have our Instagram page as well, you'll see it every week when we put it out.
Yeah.
So it is the Kendy and Raybo podcast on Instagram and Facebook.
Kendy. Yeah. I'm going to hit that every time we do Kendy. I suppose we better get stuck into it.
Aye.
I'm kind of warming up here now.
Do you want to explain to people what this episode is going to be based around?
I am.
Okay. Do you want to? I am. Lovely. That's just the high quality dialogue that happens in this.
When we took the wee break for the few weeks, a part of that break was I was deciding to go somewhere. So I had a few holidays from work to take.
Yeah.
So I decided I wanted to go to abroad.
You wanted to go to abroad. Didn't matter where.
No. And then I heard there was a big show on abroad.
Yeah.
That did speakers and lights. Big load of lights and speakers.
It was the abroad music and light show.
Yeah. You had to go abroad to see it.
Where is it? Oh, it's abroad.
It's abroad. In Frankfurt.
Yeah.
And I booked me tickets. I said, that's where I'm going. I'm going abroad to Frankfurt.
To Germany.
Yeah. And then I let on to Kendy I was doing that. Kendy looked at the schedule because you're a great man for the schedule. So it was feasible for you to join me on said trip.
Yeah, but this was decided now with a belly full of drink.
Oh, yeah. There was many pints had at this point. We were dancing in the Garavogue as you were ordering your flights on the app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a bad idea. We were saying that there probably should be some kind of function on your phone that stops you from
booking abroad flights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
loaded.
I've heard this before, that there should be a breathalyzer on your phone so that you breathe into it. You know, for people who are single and they're like messaging young ones that they're like,
that's definitely something.
And there should be one on your phone that if you're going to book a stupid holiday,
there should be just a wide variety of stuff that should be deactivated if your phone senses the presence of alcohol.
Yeah, you can't unlock your phone and you have to blow into the breathalyzer and then it'll let you unlock it.
Or maybe you should have to say a phrase.
Like what?
I don't know, something.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck Kendy?
That's it. Perfect.
That has been TM'd already and copyrighted. Don't steal our idea.
Yeah.
You bastards. So we booked a holiday to Frankfurt. I booked it for 2 days because it was tight now.
Whoa.
Sorry.
It wasn't a holiday.
Okay.
We're professionals.
Oh, yeah. We were going out in a professional capacity.
Yeah. We're both in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
We wanted to see the new speakers and the new lights.
Some of us are more in the entertainment industry than others. Like I've often heard it say, I'm more entertaining. But Ray, you're in that industry too, I
Just
guess.
about, I suppose. Yeah. Fair enough.
So
bit awkward now.
It was it was going over to literally the mecca of I love speakers. You know, if you love speakers, come to our mecca.
Yeah.
Every speaker you've ever seen is in this one room.
So on of Tuesday, we set off later than usual. About a half an hour or an hour later.
It was an hour late, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not a mad stickler for time. Ray said, let's leave at 2 o'clock. I said, perfect. We left at 3. And I was immediately on edge.
Sorry about that.
We're going to be late, boy.
Well, here's us in the car to start with.
So we're on the way to Dublin Airport.
Yeah.
Can I tell you what my biggest worry is?
Go on.
Go on. And I was going to say to you there, we have to stay in a hostel.
Yes, we are staying. I have booked 2 beds in a 6-bed dorm in, as Kendy terms it, a smelly hostel.
Yeah, and it's probably in the smelly part of town too.
It's not the smelly part of town, right in the middle of town. Like right beside the train station.
Like, we were chatting to a friend of ours there, right, on the phone.
Yes.
And she said, lads, you're both working men.
Yeah.
We could afford to stay in a hotel. Like, why are we staying in a hostel?
You get no stories in a hotel, lad. You get no stories in a hotel.
Yeah, but what stories do you want to be telling people? Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like, I woke up and there was a 60-year-old man lying on top of me. He had dreadlocks and no shirt.
he thought this was his bed.
No, but he didn't. He knew well it was Kendy's bed. He thought
Kendy was the mattress.
Do you know what
a nice soft Irish lad.
Do you know what my biggest fear is, though?
What?
And I can picture it in my head, it's like a nightmare, that I open my eyes and standing at the door is a guy wearing a vest,
right,
and nothing else, and his little Mickey is popping out the bottom of it, and he's just after going for a shite or something, and he's coming back into the room. That's the worst. I fucking am.
Do you remember back in the day, back in the good old days of the band? Do you remember that?
The band.
You remember the band? Back in the good old days when we used to be in the bands.
Yeah.
Do you know, doing the live music.
Well, the bands used to be a bit better crack, I'd say, back then.
Yeah, but there was a time where certain members of the bands would insist on putting their bag in a high place in the room for fear that it might get piddled on. Do you know, I wonder would there be fellas that, because a lot of fellas when they come home would drink on them.
Yeah.
And Bjors too.
Oh, yeah.
I've no doubt there's Bjors in it.
Oh,
as
they
well.
all do it.
They all do it.
Yeah.
But what will happen there is you could have a situation, your bag would be on the floor beside your bed.
Oh, gee, you're making it worse.
And you could get said lad in the vest with the little Mickey popping out, and before you ever wake up at all, he might have his business done. And your Egyptian cotton pyjamas might have got an awful juice in.
Oh.
You have a locker.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you have a locker.
Can I lock my stuff in there?
Well, feck it anyway.
Because Kendy has some expensive accoutrements that he brings with him.
What did you bring?
I bring expensive accoutrements with me, you see. A lot of different fossils for my face.
Right.
And no, I have my iPad and everything with me, Ray.
Why do you bring your iPad?
I was like, because I want to be watching the stuff, the Fargo on the plane on the way over. I got a middle seat as well, Max. I didn't reserve me bucket on Ryanair.
Oh, nasty.
I got a middle seat. I'm going to have 2 heifers beside me, probably. Because there's only 2 armrests.
There's a 1 in 57 chance that you might be sitting beside me.
Good point. Why 57?
I think there's 57.
How many planes are we going on?
There's like 20-something rows in each plane, isn't there?
Right.
And if you multiply that by 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I'm definitely in one of the rows.
Okay, yeah, you're going to be
I'm in 14.
Rows. I'm in 12.
Are you?
I think so, yeah. Jeez, we're so... Jeez, a mad world, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Huh? Jeez, a small world, that.
Oh, imagine mating on the one plane.
Sitting close to each other on a plane. Jeez, that's mental. So the journey up was built of both excitement and trepidation, I think.
It was.
I was excited to be getting out and about.
Yeah, you don't get out and about.
Yeah, and that was my one chance to get out and about.
And you had never stayed in a hostel before.
Yeah, that was where the trepidation comes in then.
Yeah, trepidations. You were.
Is that the right word?
That is the right word, yeah.
Lovely.
On the ball there now.
Staying in a hostel to me is an absolute nightmare. And as we will find out later on, it was a nightmare.
I suppose now that you think of it, now that I know what's coming, yeah, I could see now why you were trepidatious.
Listen, this is what I think was in Ray's head. Ray thought, let's book into a 6-bed place.
Yep.
We're going to be staying with 4 girls who were there for a beach volleyball tournament.
Totally.
Definitely.
And Kendy be delighted.
We're going to have unbelievable crack.
Yeah. We'd probably get invited to play on the team with them.
Oh, they'll love it. They'll say, sorry, we just need guys to wash us down afterwards. So this is great, which is actually 2 guys here that'll do it for us. Brilliant. Now, reality check.
Well, it's
as
coming.
You'll see.
It's coming. We kept tipping on up the road.
We did.
Getting from A to B.
Yeah.
But tell you what we didn't have.
Go
on the trip up to the airport was a drop of water in the car. She couldn't see a damn thing through the window. And you've no water in the car.
No, the windscreen's getting a bit broken.
Yeah.
Now.
The windscreen is looking as dirty as the 4 minutes walk away from the hostel.
Another thing I didn't know.
Yeah.
is we're staying slap bang in the middle of Brothel Central in Frankfurt.
Apparently, they say it's Europe's biggest red light district.
And that is another thing I didn't know.
Yeah.
When I went to Frankfurt, I thought we were going to go looking at speakers.
That's by the way,
lights.
yeah, well, we prefaced it, and we said we went to look at speakers and lights.
Yeah, but you're bringing me to the brothels.
No, I'm saying it's beside us. Everything's in the one place. Train station, hostel, event centre for the speakers and the lights.
It's all around us.
Boards.
Or as they're called where we come from, young ones.
Young ones.
Yeah, so we have everything you need for a good holiday.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Another little bit of information you didn't tell me.
So I didn't need to tell you these sort of things.
And again,
They're surprises.
I think the idea in Ray's head was that the red light district is a bit like Amsterdam. And it's a bit touristy, and maybe you can bring Mammy down, and you and Mammy might be able to laugh in a window.
Yeah, I'm really like me and the old lad. Me and Michael took a little wander down.
You and your dad,
Yeah, a real family bonding
beautiful
moment.
little Catch Stevens moment.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The red light district in Frankfurt,
It's coming up. Different story.
as you will see.
But it was still an experience. So we got to the airport anyway.
Experience, yeah.
Just after going through security there now. Kendy got an awful search in there. Did you really? That young one on the thing, she gave you some cavity search, I'll tell
I'll tell you
you.
what, cavity is the word, man. She opened me up.
She really did, like.
Walk with
But I
it.
suppose with a lump like that in your trousers, they're obviously going to be suspicious.
She said, you have an accoutrement. I said, I don't. She
Yeah.
said, there's an accoutrement in that
there's
short
definitely,
tape.
there's definitely some class of a MacBook hiding down there.
She said, there's something, yeah. She said, have you a flask of tea or something, or a box of Pringles in it? She have you a tube of
Are you
Pringles?
trying to smuggle on liquids over 100 mil?
Listen, I said, if you want to take a Gork headed lover, you can take a Gork headed. And when she saw it, she was a gaunt.
She was happy then.
She was a gaunt looking at her dress. She didn't know what to make of it.
What's a gaunt?
I kind of a taken aback.
She was aghast.
She was aghast.
Yeah, you're talking a gaunt is kind of when you haven't had food for a couple of weeks.
No, but no,
She'd be
no.
gaunt like after an
Yeah,
illness.
that's the way she looked at it.
Oh, say you love me, say you love me. I long for the day to take my hand, take my hand.
And I
Right. We get a bit of grub.
We will actually get a drop of something. I'm going to get a drop of pounds as well.
Oh, Victoria's Secret.
Oh. Again, the excitement you can tell.
Yeah. We've lovely singing voices.
Well, yeah, again,
Yeah.
I was Entertainer of the Year Monday, Tuesday in Fiddlers.
You can't pay enough to throw around Victoria's Secret.
Couldn't get double A cup though for the bra.
What's that? Is that like the smallest one?
I mean, I don't even know. Is this?
Is that?
I think it might be. Hey,
What?
I got a 34 double Kendy.
Oh.
Yup, you buy ya. No.
If we ever get big enough.
Hey, if
If they ever get big enough,
enough, man.
they'll name a bray after town above in Wicklow. They'll name a town in Wicklow after them. No, a bra.
Yeah.
They'll name a bra after them.
Yeah.
That's a good tagline.
If we ever get big enough, they'll name a bra after us.
Yeah.
Very good.
We got through the airport.
Again, the excitement building something
Yeah.
fierce.
And then we got as far as the plane. Grand joke.
So as they say on the television, Ray, the holiday starts here.
She won't find it till we're there.
No, you won't find it, Ray. That's the truth. Now, but whatever we do, we better mind our drinks, Ray, because they say now that they're dropping stuff into drinks and stay together. We better stay together now.
Right.
Because they say now if you separate it all, that could be it.
That's it, Kendy. That's the one. Sounds like Home Alone. Was that the first time you had actually heard the Home Alone bells?
Since you said that to me, that's the first time I had heard it.
Isn't it lovely?
And every time I hear it now, all I can hear is Home Alone.
Yeah.
You've actually pierced it into my head.
I've ruined Ryanair flights for you.
Well, maybe you made them better.
Maybe.
If you're taking a Macaulay Kendy every time you hop on a Ryanair flight, man, your life is bound to get better.
It was a grand journey. You were sitting in front of me.
Yeah, because
Go on.
here's one for you now out there, a bit of trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Kendy Raybo, it's not all comedy.
No,
Some of it's just educational.
purely.
There's no row 13 on flights because of, unlucky 13.
Would you sit in a seat 13B, would you?
Wouldn't faze me at all. Let me tell you why, Ray.
Go on.
If I'm sitting in row 13B, if the plane crashes, I nearly guarantee the fella who's sitting in 12B is dead as well.
Yeah, I suppose.
Doesn't matter. If you nosedive,
Yeah.
you're all in trouble.
Yeah.
Let you be in 13B or 26A.
I wonder, was there a drop of research done where a couple of planes earlier, like in the 1900s and 20s, a load of planes had crashed and row 13 was completely taken out of it.
No.
Yeah, so anyone seated in row 13, they died.
None of that happened.
Oh.
But here's one for you. Ryanair are mad to
acquiesce to such stuff.
Yeah, well, what I would do for Ryanair is I would put a row 13 and just sell them really cheap and make a few more pounds.
That's true.
Because fellas like me will say, I don't give a shit if it's sitting in row 13. I'll give you £19 for that seat to Frankfurt.
Yeah.
And they'd say, spit in the hand, deal. Few extra pounds.
I'm sad that it's completely a superstitious thing.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's mad. But I mean, it's gone so far like that. The aviation, the pinnacle of physics and aeronautical engineering, have superstitions about us that say, no, we can't put in a row 13.
Anyway, we landed abroad in Frankfurt, and Kendy was overwhelmed with the Germanness of the airport. While we've landed.
Yeah, we're at London, Frankfurt, and so far it's a lot like Ireland now.
You're saying it's a lot. Oh, taxis are this fair.
No, we haven't left the airport yet, but I'm just saying, I'm not getting the...
You're saying that it is very like Ireland.
I'm not getting the foreign feel yet. No one's touched me yet, as of... I'm not quite...
And everything's in English.
Yeah, but I speak fluent German anyway, man. It doesn't matter to me, like.
Do you want to comment on your ambivalence to the whole thing?
The airport?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. You land into the airport in any country and it just looks like an airport.
That's true.
But when the typical Irish head in me, I was saying, yeah, it's a lot like Ireland, like. I think they've one of them shops in Knock Airport as well. But I always think that if you really want to find out where in the world you are, walk into the jacks of the airport. Because there's 3 different types of jacks. So the European jacks is the jacks that we take a Barry White in every week.
Fair enough.
We love it, Ray.
We do.
We get on with it. You go to Tokyo, the yoke is wiping your arse for you and singing you a tune.
When were you ever in Tokyo to know this?
I'd you be seeing this on the television.
Was he on television?
Did you ever go to Tokyo?
No.
You go in, it shoots water up your hole, washes it, sings you a tune, and then it wipes your arse for you, and then it sends you off out the door.
Is this actually true?
This is what it does.
I'm going to have to look this up.
I'm telling you. That's true as God now.
And then Japanese toilets, right?
Japanese toilets. And then when you go to, I don't know, India or something, you're shiting in a hole in the ground. But you know what they say? That might be the natural way of shiting. Yeah.
Into a hole.
They say that's how our ancestors did it.
I suppose it's true. It wasn't, yeah. They got on with it for 2,000, 3,000 years.
Well, I tell you what, in the 2,000 or 3,000 years, they definitely didn't have a hose getting shoved up the arse in Tokyo and cleaning the whole lot out, man. That gets right up into your gut.
Well, after we checked out the toilets, we had to get into town.
Aye.
And we decided not to bother getting the train because we missed it.
Yeah, and we're also big dicks around this place. We can afford it.
We can afford a taxi.
Yeah, let's get one.
Yeah, because we save money on the hostel, working men.
Save plenty of money on the hostel. Jeez.
So we got a taxi and we sat into a 191 Mercedes Benz. And obviously the first thing you ask any man when you get into taxi is, "Are you just started for the night now, or you?"
No, I started at 5 o'clock.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So that's the first question you have to ask him. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't have to introduce, what did we call him? Amir?
Amir.
For the purpose of this podcast, we're going to call our taxi driver Amir. I think Amir was his actual name.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Could have been.
So I hit him with the first question, got the answer. It was very important, then hit him with the second most important question when you get into a foreign taxi. Busy so far?
I hope so. I mean, we have this fair now.
Oh yeah, the one we're going to with the sound and the lights.
Yeah, let's see. I don't know. I hope they go party.
Oh yeah,
let's see.
We'll try.
Let's see.
I hope they go party. Have you ever heard party being said in such a more entertaining way?
He sounded like he was on one of those chat lines you get late at night.
You want to go party?
You want to party? Call 69 69 69.
We party with you. Yeah, so we tore into it anyway. And sure, of course, we had to ask young taxi man then the drop of advice. So is there anything to be particularly aware of that we shouldn't do?
I mean, you shouldn't be too drunk and walk around with like money in your hands.
Gotcha.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But I mean, it's you don't have to fear anything. It's everything.
Well, that's a
all right.
worry for me because I have loads and loads of money.
Yeah.
Very rich man.
No, he's not.
Just don't be too drunk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're talking to 2 Irishmen now. That's kind of...
Yeah, that's why.
Hard done.
That's why you're warning us.
Especially just
Here for a very limited time.
Yeah. And you have also one Irish pub over there.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be like Frankfurt now, or
No, but it's so,
else.
that's very typical Irish to find one Irish pub and just stay there
That's
for the
where
night.
we go.
Yeah. We like to stick to our own.
like the Chinese. You can see it when the Chinese come over here.
Yeah.
You always see them in Chinese restaurant.
Yeah,
Quite,
it's bad.
yeah. What's wrong with that?
There's something very special about a big load of Chinese people going into a Chinese restaurant.
Why did you feel the need to say there's something very special about that?
Because there was the one night I seen it out in New Zealand one night. New Zealand.
Yeah.
I was walking down the street and a bus pulled up and a big load of Chinese heads got off it, and there they were all filing into the local Chinese restaurant. And I thought that's the rarest thing I've ever seen. I didn't think they liked Chinese food.
But they are Chinese.
I didn't think that, the way. I didn't think, they actually liked Chinese food.
Well, that's like someone saying, I didn't know the Irish like Guinness. It's true. I thought it was all part and parcel. Because what was the first thing we did when we went over there?
It was straight to O'Reilly's Irish bar.
Amir says, yeah, there's an Irish pub over here.
Yeah.
Hey, wished.
Yeah.
I trying to find the Frankfurt equivalent of Fiddlers. So I could stay there for 2 days and drink there.
You're no just man. Like.
Amongst my own people.
And there was no telling you to go anywhere else. Like.
No, all I want to do was sit at that bar. That was it.
Yeah, but you couldn't drink the Smithies.
No, it had no Smittix inside in it.
They had the foreign equivalent of Smithies.
Kilkenny.
Piss water.
It was the finest.
It was piss water.
Man was sitting Kendy's belly, the finest.
Yeah, we did ask Amir though. We did ask him like, what's the story? If we're in Frankfurt, you do good beer here in Germany. And we asked him, and what's the good beer?
I'm not big. I only drink vodka, so I can't tell you anything about
vodka.
You only drink vodka.
But I had to drink 2 or 3 times a year, and then I drink a lot of vodka.
Okay.
So I was going to say, in Ireland, the only people that only drink vodka are like school children.
Yeah, because I really don't like the taste, but it's good to get I drink vodka Red Bull.
Yeah.
And then it tastes good, and you
Get the buzz on.
You can get real quick drunk, so it's okay for me.
Yeah, you do really well at like a children's disco in Ireland. It's perfect.
Yeah, I'm no big drinker, so.
Weird thing to say to a grown man. You do well at a kid's disco in Ireland.
I just wanted the seat to swallow me up when you said it. I went, no. But he's an easy going sort of a fella.
Yeah, he only drinks vodka.
A vodka.
Yeah, you can't even say vodka, Amir.
No.
None of my
And
drinkers.
he only drinks 2 to 3 times a year.
Oh, man.
There's something wrong with that.
Yeah, what's wrong with the people? Drink is good for you.
100%. There's a lot of people I know now that get sick. I said, what you need is a good skip of pints.
Drinking once a week, I think, is what keeps Kendy alive.
So after we got out of the taxi with Amir, right, he dropped us off in the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
In the ghetto.
Hey, he really dropped us off in the ghetto.
He did, right beside the Hauptbahnhof, which is
Aye.
the train station in Germany.
Station. Now, like you said, he's warned us there earlier on. Careful, don't kind of leave your money out of your hand, and mind yourself and mind your drinks. It was sketchy, Ray. We were staying. Not only were we staying in a smelly hostel, we were staying in a real sketchy area. I couldn't believe you booked this. Is what you booked for us?
Here was us after we got out of the taxi. So we're in the ghetto.
Yeah, man. We just drove by definitely 40 junkies, and not doing. They were doing the crack.
They weren't having the crack.
They weren't having the crack, man.
They were doing crack. Oh yeah, that's it. So we've arrived.
We have arrived.
Class. Jesus, right beside the old Hauptbahnhof.
Oh, and a noodle bar. Noodle bar. I thought I said a nudie bar. Straight away, I was getting excited.
Oh, you are, in fairness. Noodle bar. Kendy, noodles. You can read, can't you?
It was a testament to my excitement. Because
seeing things that weren't there.
noodle is Nood.
Yeah.
But I said nude. I got pure excited instantly.
We found the entrance to the Frankfurt hostel beside the Hauptbahnhof. And we went in the nice little kind of entrance.
Yeah, the guy let us in, the doorman with the top hat. And he said, would you like me to take your bag, sir?
Yeah.
I said, how about you take the crack pipe out of your mouth, Jimmy?
No, that didn't happen. We walked in and there was nobody there. It was an empty
Hallway, I
yes.
think.
And Kendy, when he arrived in the kind of the common area,
Oh my God.
he kind of said, Jesus, this isn't a bad old spot. There was young ones, there was a load of snowflakes, millennials.
A lot of millennial
Yeah,
hippies.
a lot of millennials. Yeah, all tipping away on their
A lot of
laptops.
oversized cardigans, man. I saw more fellas with mustaches and oversized cardigans.
Yeah.
It was,
Talking about life.
it ain't my cup of tea.
No. Well,
Yeah.
we went up to the room anyway, and poor old Kendy then realised what he had let himself in for.
It's not exactly, the Hilton.
At least have the towels for you there.
I think my old lady might have put them sheets in a bag for the poor children years ago. I'm nearly certain I saw them before.
Oh, I'm getting a pain. Oh, look at the little plant. Little plant hanging from the roof.
Yeah, it's better, instead of a light, they have a plant in a shuttlecock. Saving energy there, fair play to them. Instead of chandeliers and lights hanging from the roof, there was
shuttlecocks and plants.
There was a shuttlecock and a plant inside in the shuttlecock.
It was a beautiful room. You said it looked like something you'd find in Mountjoy.
Ray, it looked like a scene out of Porridge.
For all ye young ones out there, Porridge was an old comedy series where two lads were in a cell in England.
It looked like, I'm telling you, man, they have a housing estate in the prison in Castlereagh.
Yeah.
They're living better than what we paid for to stay in on our holidays in Frankfurt.
But it was beautiful. It was beautiful till...
It wasn't beautiful.
Till one of our roommates arrived.
Oh!
Because we realised that we weren't in a room. The volleyball team, there was no volleyballs and bags of gear and stuff that you'd find with girls.
I did not see 8 Brazilian arse cheeks. I wanted to see fucking 2 cheeks on 4 young ones, 8 all together. And they were going to go, yeah, we're going party tonight. Let's go out to a disco. Are you going to talk about your man?
Yeah.
This fella came in the door. Oh!
Aziz was a Saudi Arabian man who was living in Vienna, and had come to Frankfurt for the show.
Right, so that's his heritage. That's his genetic background.
From Saudi
Arabia, lives in Vienna.
Yeah.
Says how he caping to the 2 boys.
Oh, they didn't say how he caping. He said, "Hi guys, my name is Aziz."
Yeah.
And we says, "How are you getting on? Where are you guys from?" We said, "Ireland." "Oh my God, I love Ireland. Do you know Shane?" I said, "What? Shane? Who's Shane? What are you talking about?" Jeez, it's not that small of a country.
But then he immediately changes over to
a bit of a Dublin accent.
Yeah, like I have loads of friends in Vienna. Yeah, loads of Irish friends in Vienna. We drink with them all the time. It's great. I was like, what is happening here? Immediately I was going, well, this is why I didn't want to stay in a hostel. This guy's weird as shit. No, he wrecks our heads. He wrecks our heads for 10 or 15 minutes, right?
And he threatens us.
No, but this is where the threat comes in.
He threatened us.
No, but you gave him an opening, man. Ray gave him. Listen to me. Me and Ray were communicating telepathically or with our minds, looking at each other, going, "This fella is a disaster of a human. I hope he doesn't listen to this."
I was going Aziz. No, you don't mean that. Come on now.
He was opening our heads, right?
Your head, baby. I stuck him a lot longer than you did.
Man, so here's what happens. Ray then eventually, trying to keep the conversation, says to Aziz, "So you going out for a drink tonight or what's going on?" And man, if looks could kill, man, I looked over at you. And Aziz says, "Oh, you invite me out, are you?" And what did I say? I said, "Ray, I'm going to sit down in the town there for a minute. I'll be back." And I made a beeline for the door. Yeah. I left you. You did. I made a beeline for the door. And Aziz says, "Don't be going for a drink now without me."
Yeah.
And I just said, "Yep." And I walked out of the room. Now, you wanted to go sleeping.
Yeah, I wanted to snooze.
I text you and I said, "Ray, I'm down in O'Reilly's bar. Frankfurt's equivalent of Fiddler's." Yeah. I said, "Come down whenever you're ready. Yeah. Do not bring Aziz."
Capital letters. It was like you were shouting at me from afar. Now, in fairness, as you left then, you obviously tipped on down. This message came in shortly after Mark left the room. And I lied down in the bed and I said to Aziz, "Aziz, I have to have a wee snooze. I had a long flight. I had a tough day this morning, you know." Tough day this morning. Aye. Yeah. So after the tough day, I wanted a wee snooze. So I said, "Aziz, I'm going to have a little sleep here, okay?" "Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem." A few seconds passed. I had lied down at this point. "So you over here for long?" I'm going, "Oh, no. I'm here 4 or 5 days max, you know." Told him the story. Okay. Yeah. And then he plowed into telling me about his story. "I'm down here for 3 days." And I'm going, "I'm supposed to be sleeping." You are upsetting the sleeping.
He wouldn't let you have it, man.
No.
He wouldn't let you have it.
No, and he kept talking and then there was a lull. And I think all of a sudden he accepted the fact that I wasn't responding and I was asleep.
Okay, so he said that fella's asleep.
He's asleep. So what do you do when someone's asleep in a room? You be quiet. Hey. Yeah, shh. Keep it down. Do you know?
Your man's sleeping.
Yeah, your man's sleeping. Leave Ray alone. Right? Leave Ray alone. So he decided to keep himself busy by singing some death metal music. Right? So he tore into a 2 minutes to midnight drop of Iron Maiden. Great. I was enjoying this. I was lying there going, how the name of Jizz, why is he doing this? Yeah. But then he went into a different song, something much more heavier. Oh, yeah. So that he started singing the whole death metal music, and I'm lying there going, I'm trying to sleep. You're doing this full blast room. There's just the two of us. This is really awkward.
Did you get any sleep? No.
I slept for about 30 seconds.
Oh my God, that's awful.
Yeah. And then he asked me more questions. So are you going for the pints?
Oh, and you eventually made it out of that room without him.
Well, what I said was, I'm not going for pints. I have to just go down and make sure that I paid the deposit for the key on the room, and I think I'll have to find Mark. But look, I'll let you know if we're going for pints.
And you just walked out.
And I left it at that.
And then we went for copious pints.
And we took a wee walk. Big shout out to you, Aziz. You were a great sport.
listening.
So here was us on the walk. Jeez, there's a lot of Porsches around, isn't there? Porsche Jeeps, Porsche cars. And you wouldn't think to park in this area of town. Because it's fair fucking seedy.
Yeah, we're actually stuck slap bang in the middle of where I feel like I might get touched on.
But we're fine because you have junkie jiu-jitsu.
Well, I've got 8 weeks experience of... Obviously, I'm a trained fighter now at this stage.
You're a trained assassin.
Well, a ninja, some people said. You didn't say ninja, but a lot of people would say ninja.
Yeah. So I feel safe with you. So we're going to take a wander around here and see what's happening.
Yeah, you definitely should feel safe with me.
Great.
Okay, let's take a wander and see.
I'd say everybody at home could guess where that wander led us to. Back to O'Reilly's. Because there's no sea in a town with Kendy. Kendy has now found his spot.
Yeah.
And we didn't get far. We didn't get to see anything.
No. It ain't for me, man.
No, back down to O'Reilly's.
The sightseeing ain't
Yeah.
for me.
And in fairness, there was a drop of live music on.
Oh, there was a one-man show playing.
Yeah. And we took up our residence behind the bar.
Aye. Ordered a lock of pints.
We ordered a lock of pints.
I started listening to the young fella.
Listened to the few tunes. And then Kendy had some comments.
Yeah, it's funny, Ray. He hasn't asked me up yet. No, I thought he would have done it by now. Like,
What did you say to him when you went up?
no, but he obviously recognised me. Like, he was pretending he didn't recognise me. He was saying, "Who? Hot Fuss or what? Fiddlers?" And I was saying, "Yeah, it's a good one, man. Fair play to you." And I thought he'd call me up like in a couple of minutes.
That's the second time he's actually played this song.
Yeah, he wouldn't know the tunes, man. He want to get me up now. I'd say probably is his best.
And you're well toasted now at this stage.
Oh no, but I mean,
How many pints of Kilkenny have you had at this point?
we're the far side of the 7.
Are you really the far side of 7?
This is probably number 7 or 8.
I'd say it's 8.
Could be.
Oh.
Now, when I never get, like when I drink, like it never changes my personality.
That's
but I
fine.
will say this, Ray. Have you ever kissed a fella before? No. Have you ever even thought about it? Like?
No, I never thought about
I
it.
reckon we should try it. Like.
Okay, we leave it there then.
I'm so sorry, Ray. I would just flirt you with a drink.
You put me in a very difficult position.
I thought there was something going on between us.
There wasn't anything going on with you.
I was
It
getting
just
the vibe off you.
Two friends.
I was getting the vibe off you.
Yeah, but a bit weird.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm embarrassed about it now. So can we just leave it alone? I am super embarrassed.
Right.
No, I'm embarrassed for your man because he didn't get me up.
No, in fairness, he didn't get you up. And I suppose I brushed it aside thinking, Jesus, Kendy, he'd like to do a song the first night he got here.
I thought people knew me.
We drank a skip of pints. And then we sauntered back
Yeah.
to Frankfurt Hostel. Went in, went to bed. You conked out straight away.
Me now.
Why did you conk out straight away?
Here's what. Okay, so
Bear in mind now that there's 4 lads in the room with us.
so at this point, I think 2 of those boys were Russian, as in not in a hurry, like they were from Russia.
Yeah.
When I realized we were staying in a hostel, I came up with a plan of I'm going to drink myself into oblivion for the 2 nights so that I just pass out asleep.
Yeah.
And I don't have to deal with the fact that I slept in that hostel for 2 days in all my clothes.
You didn't get undressed once.
No, and out of the sheets.
Yeah, you didn't shower.
I couldn't.
No, you just about took a shite.
I took one curly Sue. That was it. I'm not showering where 40 other fellas are showering. The smell of them. So the plan was I'm going to drink until I just pass out asleep on that bed.
Yeah.
No,
You did that and you conked.
I should have known better.
You conked well and you set your fucking alarm for that morning.
To get up and go and see the speakers.
Yeah, which is the following morning. And I woke to a man.
A Russian gentleman.
Much the same as what you described earlier in the podcast here. A man in his boxers standing over me.
The worst nightmare.
Yeah, so I was having the worst nightmare and I'm looking at this man and he's handing me a phone. And the phone is making a sound. It's making like playing a song.
Yeah.
And I soon realised that was Kendy's phone. And in his finest Russian, he tried to ask me, "You switch off phone?" Because it had been going on for minutes.
I didn't wake up, man. I'm very bad. When I drink like that, man, it won't wake me.
And he took it out from underneath you and handed it to me.
Yeah, imagine he had the wherewithal
To know I was the sensible one.
to go into my pocket and pull out a phone. Like,
Yeah.
he must have tried to wake me.
He must have.
And then he eventually woke you and said,
Your friend is dead.
your friend might be dead, but his phone has gone off.
Do you want the number for the ambulance? Could you switch off his phone? Maybe that's why he was handing me the phone. You call your friend an ambulance. He is dead.
Thank God he did eventually wake up.
We got up anyway and we went to the show. And this was a little clip from the show.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, man.
It's such a spot.
Speakers left, right, and Kendy.
It's 3 stages, like.
Come here, I wonder would they let me go up and do a tune?
What?
Would they let me go up and do a tune? Have they an acoustic?
I don't know if it's that kind of gig.
I'm going to go up and do Leaving on a Jet Plane, okay? I'm going to go ask them. Okay?
Go and ask your man up there. Okay.
Coverage requirements.
Such an agent.
Ultimately covering the audience.
They weren't taking acts.
There's a pattern emerging here, isn't there? You and I and my shite.
Yeah, but they weren't. I went up and asked the man, they weren't taking acts to go. So
No, they weren't. It wasn't that kind of show.
I was a bit like, okay, well, obviously, you know, I think he was pretending he didn't know me as well.
Hot Fuss big in Germany.
Not half for Kendy.
Kendy's big in Germany.
Kendy big all over the world, man.
Okay. Mr. Worldwide.
I'm telling you. So he was kind of half pretending he didn't know me either. I think it might have been an ongoing joke throughout the weekends. Did you put them up to us? Did you?
No.
Oh, you did, man.
No, I didn't.
You devil.
No.
But anyway, he wouldn't let me play a song either. So,
No.
you know.
So we seen the show. I was class. In fairness,
It was,
loads of speakers, loads of lights. Everything was brilliant.
No, in fairness, if you're into that stuff, it was insane.
The Pro Light and Sound show.
Yeah.
But after the show, we decided to do a little bit of sightseeing.
Yeah.
We did to get cultured, like.
Yeah, because we were in a big city that just looks like a city.
Yeah. So we went to the old quarter.
Yeah.
With all the old buildings.
Mm.
Yeah. And
Oh, look beautiful.
Nice buildings, isn't it?
Oh, beautiful buildings, man.
And the few buskers. What's your man? He's playing a trombone.
This is actually where Hitler grew up, in this exact square.
Who did?
Hitler.
What?
This is where... Yeah, they say that he used to go up into that tower, man, and that's where he used to write his manifesto, up in that tower. Yeah.
Hitler.
Yeah.
I don't even think you're supposed to say Hitler out loud. in this
Yeah,
country.
take it easy, will you?
Mention the wall.
Say nothing, like.
Your man's not bad in the fiddle.
Oh, he fiddle away there, man. He fiddling away in the corner. He fiddle away all night, I'd say, the same fella.
That's lovely.
He's
now.
beautiful. Will I go up and do a song, do you reckon?
No.
Do you reckon that I'll go up and do one? I'll do one. Let me check and see. I'll ask Ken to do one. Back yeah, they were great buskers, but I thought they could have done with something a bit more modern. I don't think people were into that classical stuff, so I went up and asked them, would I do Wagon Wheel?
they said.
No, they said no. It was weird, man.
And did they recognise you?
They were either they didn't genuinely recognise me, they weren't big up enough in the business, or they were just pretending again like everyone else.
They were in on the joke that I set up.
Well, I thought they might have been. Maybe they just weren't as big in the business.
Maybe.
Like they were pure like, who are you? And I was like, you know, I do Wagon Wheel on a Monday and Tuesday. They're having none of it, man.
No. We got the dinner. Got the spuds. Where do you think we went for the dinner?
O'Reilly's Irish Bar.
We passed a bunch of lovely restaurants on the walk back from the scenic spots.
Really cultured.
Really nice spots. I said, geez, they do a nice cheap steak. I'd be able to give that a go away. And no.
Right.
Kendy says, I know where we'll get a good feed. Let's go to where everybody knows your name.
Where everybody knows your name. Except for the one man who won't let you sing a song.
So yeah.
Hey, but it was good dinner there as well, though, boy.
Yeah.
And again, amongst their own people.
And we got a little bit of recording from there as well. So this was kind of our last little clip from the holiday.
Yeah.
The business trip. Sorry, business trip.
It was definitely a business trip, yeah.
So anyway, that's the last night anyway. You're going in the morning.
Yeah, I'm hitting off in a couple of hours. I'm going to try and drink myself into oblivion before I get on a plane.
But it's nice though, we've a bit of live music here, you know.
A bit of live music ticking over. Now, he's not the best one man I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen better on a Monday and Tuesday in Fiddlers. But,
Yeah.
do you reckon I could do a song? I might go up and ask him when I do one song.
Let me know, will ya?
Let me just ask him, see if
No,
we can do one
no.
song. Seriously, Ray.
No,
let me see.
he's fine. He's doing
I'm
a
gonna go
fine
ask him.
job.
I'm going to go ask him.
Don't.
I'll see you.
No,
Say no.
don't.
Say no.
Fucking idiot.
And yet again, I did not do a...
He didn't recognise you.
No, I didn't do a song there either. I don't know how it was going on. But I flew home then the next day. Just
You
about.
nearly got robbed first.
Yeah, I nearly got robbed on the way back. I went into the Hauptbahnhof.
Hauptbahnhof.
Now, the taxi driver again had told me, just be careful going into the Hauptbahnhof in the middle of the night. Because there's boys with junkies on them.
Yeah.
I went in with my bag on my back, try and get a train to the airport. And I got a, hey, 4 lads sitting on the staircase. Called one more lad who came out, crouching tiger, hidden junkie, from behind the wall.
Right.
He hops out from behind the wall.
What did you do?
I went full
Junkie jujitsu.
Luckily, my training stood to me. So I took my bag off my back and I
Okay.
said, yo,
Did you take off the lady's jacket you were wearing all week?
that's a stylish motherfucking jacket.
That's a
man.
lady's jacket.
I'll be arse the lady's jacket. What are you on about?
You look like a lady.
No, I took it off and I took off my top and I said, bro, you want to dance, bro? You're going to dance with the tiger. Get in the ring. This shit's happening right now. I said, check it out. You want me fucking come all over? I fucking come all over you, man. I think he thought I was getting sexual.
Did you not think? Did you
I
not
was
think
like,
I'd
I'm gonna
come at you?
explode. I'm gonna explode all over you. I was saying to him, you want this? You want me to explode all over you? I cover you, man.
You won't do me like this?
And then he was like, no, I'm not into that kind of stuff. And I don't know. I think he might have thought I was getting sexual. But that was a genuine scary experience because I thought I was going to get robbed genuinely.
Yeah, what really happened was you were a little bit brave. You spotted them kind of coming out around you.
Yeah.
And you turned around and goes, hey, you're right.
Yeah. I had to take my bag off my back because I knew that's what they were going for.
Did you take the bag off your back and do the typical Sligo way of there's a Sligo way doing it?
Here, man.
What are you all crowding around me for?
Here, man. Did you see you, hey, right?
See you, I
Hey.
kicked the face of you. I hit you so many dumps, you'd be dying for a kick. There'd be 3 hits in this fight. Me hitting you hitting the ground, Damblins hitting 90. Stay to you in your shoes, huh? All my insults.
No, I
Simon.
did. I had to take my bag off my back and turn around. And because they were, at the end of the day, they were just junkies. Like,
Yeah.
they weren't.
They were good people. Like.
So I had to run. I had to run downstairs to where the train was. Terribly terrifying. I got back to Ireland. You continued your travels, Ray, and enjoyed a couple of days away.
I did. I
Yeah.
got the train up to Berlin and I had 2 days in Berlin. It was lovely. I went to the museum. The best thing I've seen in years.
Go on.
Nefertiti's bushed.
A pair of cans and another one. Is Nefertiti a young one?
Nefertiti was, I suppose she was a young one at one stage. But then
And
she
she has a
got...
big pair of cans.
No, there's no cans.
34 double
okay,
Kendy.
Okay, no. A bushed is kind of head and shoulders.
Okay.
Head and shoulders.
She was shampoo.
She was not. No, she was a queen, an Egyptian queen from back about 3,000 years ago, and they made a bust of her, right?
Right.
And it wasn't finished. They found it in kind of a workshop, an old Egyptian workshop.
They found an old bust of this woman.
Yeah,
That
in a
had been
workshop.
made.
It was class.
And it wasn't
Class.
finished.
Wasn't finished. She was missing an eye.
Shouldn't I miss it?
Yeah, she was an eye missing.
Well,
Yeah.
by the sounds of it, Nefertiti's bust had 2 cans missing as well, buddy.
They
Because
did,
that's
in fairness. And I showed a picture of Nefertiti to my mammy when I got home. And my mammy said, that looks very like Auntie Maureen. So I kind of went, oh, that's interesting. That's a very nice compliment to pay to Auntie Maureen.
And does Auntie Maureen have one eye?
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. No. I go crack in Berlin anyway. Because I went clubbing. That's what you do in Berlin. You go clubbing.
You went
I
looking
went
for
to banging disco.
You're looking for the banging disco.
I got 2 days in banging discos.
Where is the banging disco, says you?
Marvellous. I got offered a load of drugs as well, but I couldn't take them.
You didn't want to take them, no?
No, well, they wouldn't sell it to me once I told them that I've never took drugs before.
They were worth.
They said, we want some pills? And I said, I've never had a drug in my life.
Imagine they were going, okay, well, look, I won't put that on you then.
I was very responsible of them.
They took a moral high ground.
They did. They said, I'm not selling you drugs.
A moral high ground. Anyway, that was our trip to Frankfurt.
Yeah.
I don't know, will we get away again, Ray?
Probably not.
Could be a while now till we get away
Before
again.
we get away again. But I did enjoy travelling with you.
Yeah, no, you reckon you could travel with Kendy again?
I think you're not a bad lad.
Come here. I know I did some shout outs at the start show. I got to do some later ones as well.
Mhm.
I went to Dublin Friday night and I did a gig with Derek, who many of you will remember from 2 or 3 episodes of this show. Myself and Derek did a 2-piece show in Temple Bowd in a place called the Badass Cafe.
Mhm.
We have a lot of big fans down there, boy.
We do.
Around the Badass that do be
Yeah.
listening to Kendy and Raybo.
Yeah.
There's a pair of jurors down there, right?
Yeah.
One of them a bouncer, one of them a musician.
Right.
And we shouted them out before. Jared the bouncer says to me when I landed down, he said, here, you want to get me own fucking shootout and that, yo, I don't want to be lumped in with your man.
Right.
So Jared the bouncer,
Yeah.
fair play to you. You're a fine fella. Then I met Jared Furlong, completely separate to Jared the bouncer, and I want to say fair play to him as well. He was a gentleman.
Right.
I met 2 of the finest boys.
Yeah.
And again, I'm lumping them in together though.
That's kind of the end of the old podcast. Oh, I have a recommendation.
Go on.
And I know you love my Netflix recommendations.
They always work.
The last one was Selling Sunset.
Yeah, haven't
Yeah.
watched this.
Yes, very good. And today's recommendation is Kevin Hart,
Oh, the new one.
the comedian.
Yeah.
And he does a show called Irresponsible.
Yeah, it's very good.
I had to pause it 4 times
Laughing.
because I was laughing too
I'll
much.
tell you, he is at the tippy top of that comedy game.
He's
Isn't
brilliant.
he?
Yeah.
He just can't do anything wrong.
If any of you enjoyed this bit of a podcast at all and you'd like to know what makes us tick,
Yeah.
watch Kevin Hart, Irresponsible on Netflix.
I'll tell you what makes me tick now.
Go on.
Dragging this out too long.
Sorry.
That was a good segment.
That's
Man.
very good, yeah. That's it and so for episode 41. We'll be back with you again next week.
Enjoy it. Hit the subscribe button, and like us on the Instagrams and the Facebook. Ray, fair play to me.
And fair play to me.
Good luck.
Look.